Hello everyone, Wanda here, and today I'm going to be doing a very large tattoo on a rock, embellished with foil and rhinestones, crystals, and for the background I'm going to do blue watercolor sky. So I'm going to be making my sky. Oh, I grabbed the wrong paint. Just a minute. Okay, sorry about that. I meant to grab primary blue. This is watercolor gel. And that's probably way more than I need. But this is by Dollar Rowney. So I'm going to mix that with some water, some clear water. And I just want it tinted for the sky, so I'm not really painting in the sky. I'm just going to paint the background blue and then blot out the clouds, if that makes sense. Let me see here, find the right paintbrush. Okay, so I'm just literally gonna paint it on. I guess I will need to make a little bit more. Wait. I almost did it again. All right. Just spread it around, and you want it to still be wet when you're taking the color out, so this is a very large piece of Santorini, and I have a very large tattoo. I guess they call it a half sleeve. Alright, I've got that on. Now I'm going to take should have a cotton ball, but I don't have one, so I'm going to use a paper towel. And wad it up, like so. And look for something that would be cloud-like. So, sort of like so. And then start removing bits so it kind of looks like clouds, but not uniform. Okay, I'm going in for my second try. I don't like this, but you see how easy it is to have another go at it. Alright, different area here. Okay, I like that better. And the center, I'm going to take some out because it's pretty much going to be covered by a black circle. Now, I'm going to have to spray this with 2X rust-oleum, 2X matte spray, because I'm going to be putting on a tattoo which is, you know, applied with water, and if I didn't set this, it wouldn't work. So I'm going to let this dry, give it a spray, and then I'll be right back to apply the tattoo. Okay, we are dry from the spray, and I am going to apply this tattoo to the rock. So I have to turn it over, make sure that you trim your tattoo and you remove the plastic cellophane, or whatever that is, plastic cover. Because if you apply water to that, you'll just be putting your tattoo onto that piece of plastic. So, all right, when you put it down, you want to make sure you know exactly where you want it, because once you drop it, it's gonna stick and you can't move it because it's sticky. So I'm trying to see through my design so I can see where it's going. So middle. Okay, then take some clear water and soak the back of your tattoo. Make sure there's not a lot of wrinkles. I'm going to put a little water on there. I mean, no wrinkles would be better, right? So if when you're putting this on, you have like a bubble in it, make sure to flatten it out. Because wherever you have a bubble, you're going to have a bubble in your tattoo. You saw I put a lot of water on there and it absorbed into this paper and it's not dripping out on my rock. So it takes quite a bit to soak a tattoo, especially when you're working on these big ones. So make sure you have enough clear, clean water. I don't recommend using your paint water because you can stain your rock. Right, let's see. Okay, gently. Okay, it's not all the way down. Because this is so big, you want to, usually I twist to see if it'll start releasing. But on this one, you need to lift very slowly and make sure that it's all adhering and sticking to your rock. And then take your brush gently. Make sure it's laying down. Okay, that's not. Okay, just make sure to smooth out right, we're on. Got some wrinkles here, just smoothing those out. If you touch it, make sure your fingers are wet. I'm just going to add a couple drops of water here so I can work with this for a minute. I do have a wrinkle under this butterfly, but I think I've lost the top of the wing, so I'll have to paint that in. Which is totally fine with me. This is gorgeous. Okay, before it dries out, you want to seal it with something like Mod Podge, a very thin coat, so you can thin it out with some water. It's too much. Sorry, give me just a moment. Okay. And just work around your image. I'm going to seal the whole rock. That way it just blends right. And any work I do on it will be even. Just be very careful when you're doing this not to lift any of the tattoo. It's very nicely adhered to the rock, but you never know, there might be some little edge that's not all the way down, and if you grab it, it will pop up. Okay, that should dry clear. And then when that's all dry, I'll be adding some foil to this and be painting my butterfly wing back on. Just ironing out little wrinkles. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And then we'll work on it. Hello. Okay, so this is completely dry now. The spray is dry. Everything is settled, and I'm going to go ahead and start the foiling process. I have some leftover glue here that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using the transparent foils here on top of different areas to embellish and bring forward the beauty on the butterfly wings here. I will be doing that. So I'm applying the glue in the shape that I want the foil to adhere to the rock. Leaving a bit of space between each section so we get the 3D dimension. And that is why these disposable eyeliner brushes come in so handy because they're little, tiny, and can get into these little bitty spots. Let me show you here what I mean. Can you see that? Okay, so I'm going to cure that with my little light for one cycle, moving the glue out of the way so it doesn't get hard from curing. I'm also going to be adding some rhinestones to the mix. I have some little flowers, butterflies, some stars, and I do have a couple bigger stars. They're more like, they're a different type of star. And I have starfish, but I have these little moons too, and I think I may add one of those somewhere. Anyways, and then I have these pretty marquee rhinestones. They're all different facets and colors, just beautiful. And I have some others here that I was thinking about just applying around. I want to make it pop, very blingy, but we'll be adding the rhinestones during the resin process. So I'm going to make sure everything is ready. Oops, did I even turn it on? I didn't. Okay, I'm going to grab my foil. I want to use what I call the large glass. If you feel the foil, you'll feel one side has a slight drag to it and the other side is very shiny and slick. The side with the drag that is duller goes down onto the butterfly, or onto your rock, onto the area that you're foiling. Okay, going to the next piece I want to foil, this butterfly here. I'm going to hit this one down here too. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and cure those for one cycle. This is the 5 Below light that I recently discovered. It's a Sun Mini UV LED nail lamp. Other suns that I've tested haven't worked so well, but this particular light from 5 Below is good. It's been 100% consistent. I have had not any trouble with it, and I've been using it for about 4 weeks now. Only good things to say so far. So I do have a link for 5 Below. You can also, I found these in the actual stores. It is available online. They do have shipping. It's $5.95 for one or many things. So it's always a better deal if you order more than one thing to, you know, have to pay that shipping. So let's go ahead and do the foils on these. Okay, let me give you a static. I love foil. All right, next section. Let's do some flowers and the moon. Let's do the moon. Okay, moon, and I think I'll do this rose here. And I'm just hitting little pieces of it. In a section like that. Oh, I'll do this one too. And cure those. This light is also bigger. It has a wider area that you can work with. Let me show you the difference. Now I love the Mac Art light and there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing. The one with the white legs. But see them next to each other? It's quite a bit smaller. So the area of coverage is, gosh, I would say, no, a third more maybe, but it's wider and longer. So definitely an advantage there. You can do bigger areas. Okay, for the moon, I've picked the laser looking foil. I call it laser. Okay, put that aside. I still have lots left on that little piece. And then for the flowers, I picked the small crushed glass looking one. And I'll show you before I do the other one how I did the glue on the flowers. Can you see that in the reflection? So I just sort of added some depth where I think it would really bring that flower forward. Like so. All right, I'm gonna do these other flowers too. This one here. And these here. You could use a dotting tool, a ball stylus, also to lay down these flowers because they're round petals, so. With this one, I'm putting it down and then doing a teardrop shape. And here's another. And a little baby one. And a couple here. Oh, and here's another bigger one. There's a lot in this picture going on here. It's just gorgeous. The all-seeing eye. Yin and yang. Day and night, light and dark. What would that be? Mother Earth and Father Time, or the sky? I forget. Here's another flower here. I'll be adding rhinestones to the centers of these round flowers. And I think I'm gonna be done there. I'll do these out here too, but on a separate pass. So I'm gonna cure this for 1 cycle. I'm putting some, this is a dryer sheet, some little sections of this in here, in this box to help combat the static. This helps a lot if you just rub it on your fingers and your gloves, rub it around, and then just keep it in the lid there. Anyways, it helps a lot with the static. They won't stick to you. I say that, now it's sticking to me. Anyways, it does help. Okay, so I'm going to try to use up some more of this piece that I had from before. And there's a bit here I'll do these smaller ones with. Right, another one for the bigger flower here. And just one more pass over them to make sure I got them all. Okay, I'm liking that. Pretty twinkles. Okay. Now I want to do the eye color, just the iris, where the blue and the white. ahead and do these out here. Okay, I'm going to give that a cure. Okay, where did I put my foil? Okay, I'm going to use up a little bit of this, or the rest of this, on these outer flowers. Oops. See there, I pulled the glue right off of the rock. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Anyways, you have to be careful to make sure to put a section of the foil down that is all there. If you put a piece on the rock that's already been used, it'll pull the foil or the glue off of the rock. Did I say foil before? I meant to say glue. Sorry. Right, I need to grab another good piece of foil. Right, I'm just going to hit these places. When you're working on a tattoo, when you pull the glue off, you will pull the tattoo up as well. So you want to be super duper careful with the tattoos and glue. Okay, so I think I'm done with the foil. And I am going to apply some of the metal sequin rhinestones before we do the resin, because those can be covered. So I'm going to pick out some things here that I would like to place. Let's see. A couple of these. I put these where the big stars are. Maybe. It's weird, I've never seen it have static. Okay. So like that. And maybe one here. Okay. And then some of these little baby stars. And then I have some different color stars. I think they're in here. Here's a pink one. Those are cute. And then I'll place little bitty, I have this little tiny there they are, sequins, these little bitty ones. Place some of those on there. Like that. And then in the flowers, I'm not going to set the rhinestones yet, but or the I grab like for the centers of these flowers. I'm going to do this big one here. I think that's very pretty. I have this one. Very pretty. Oh, I missed a flower here with foil. I'll foil that flower. Alright, so I am going to set these sequins with a bit of sequin glue. I mean, it's either sequin glue or rhinestone glue. So, and I'm going to put some of these little stars out here as well. Let me show you the glue I'm going to use. It comes in a pot. I have no idea what it says. Accessory something drill glue. Anyway, so it's a clear gel, and you also can use a disposable brush with that. So I'm going to pick up my piece. Hit it with the light for just a second. Okay, on these littler ones, you just want to apply it to the back of them. And if you're wondering about this wax stick I'm using, it's a rhinestone picker. And you know, it helps 80% of the time. Well, that one's stuck on. And these I'm just going to hit with the light. That one cured it too much beforehand, so I'm hoping we shall see here. Alright, I'm going to work on the other rhinestones and I'll be back to show you what I come up with. Okay, I'm going to apply Mr. Resin UV resin to my rock. And I'm going to spread it around with a brush. I'm going to set the rhinestones, hit them with my little UV flashlight to give them some staying power, and then I will be curing this rock outside in the sun. It's too big for my light, and that's the sweet thing about UV resin. The sun will cure it. So about 15 minutes in the sunshine and it will be cured. So I'm using a brush to spread the resin, and this is just a cheapy brush. I buy sets from Sam's Club in a tumbler pack. I'll show you what that looks like. Comes like this. It's by Art Skills. It's just a 40-piece set for like $9. Anyways, I just replace that a couple times a year, and I have my brushes for throwaways. You know, I use them, I don't know, handful of times. Clean them with acetone alcohol or hand sanitizer between uses, and then, you know, those are pretty aggressive chemicals, so when they will break down the brush over time, so when the brush starts to wear or gets hard and stiff from the resin, I toss it out and get a new one. But I started using the brush because I just don't want it on me, and even with gloves on I try not to touch it. Did get a drip over here. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm going to give it a little torch, if I can find my torch. There it is. And now I'm going to set these rhinestones. I've picked out some pretty neat ones. I have these flowers. They're glass, flat back. Anyways, I'm just going to add some of those around here. And when you drop them in the resin, they become permanent. So they're semi-encased, so they're not going anywhere once it's cured. There's that. And I have a couple of butterfly rhinestones as well. I'm going to drop in there. And some large marquees. And some S shape. Okay, I've got some butterfly body parts. And these are little marquee stones that are green, and I'm just going to pop them around the floral areas as well. Can't remember what I was doing with this one. I guess right here looks fine. And some dark marquee. Okay, and let's see. This was butterfly. And then these more geometric shapes are down here. Right, then I was going to put these flat backs in the flowers. Okay, and a few smaller ones, and I think we're done. It's a lot of rhinestones. It's a bling blingy. Little bitty baby ones. There. Okay, so I'm just going to hit these with the UV flashlight. First, grab this for the bubbles again. Oh, I see one I missed. Oh, whoops. Okay. Okay, flashlight. Here we go. And this will just flash set these so they don't move around while I go cure it outside. Oh, also I wanted to show you, can you see the fluorescent? The stars are fluorescent stars. I think you can see that. See how they glow? Pretty cool. And the moon glows in the dark. So I think we're good to go. I'm going to go give it a cure outside, and then I will give you a view of the finished piece. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I sure do appreciate your watching all the tutorials that we make here. If you like what you saw here today, please consider hitting subscribe and tell your friends. Also, give us a like if you'd like us to keep uploading more content. Hit that bell and we'll notify you when we're uploading. Thank you so much.